The word is of Greek origin, of course, from Danos, meaning terrible, and Soros, meaning lizard. Hence the term, terrible lizard. But in fact, that's a misnomer, because they weren't lizards at all. Rather, they constituted an entirely separate type of reptile. Would he never shut up? I thought with a silent scream, my facial muscles aching from maintaining a polite listening face for so long. They lived during the Triassic, Jurassic, and Cretaceous eras. He chuckled. I'm sure you remember watching Jurassic Park, although I feel I should warn you that the movie was inaccurate or speculative in several key respects. He paused to push his glasses back up to the bridge of his nose, and a tiny bud of hope blossomed inside me that he'd finally finished his extensive monologue. But then he continued, and my bud withered and died. It's commonly believed that large numbers of dinosaurs were then wiped out in an extinction event that hasn't yet been agreed upon by paleontologists. Some argue about the catastrophic impact of an asteroid collision with Earth, but others think that gradual climate change was responsible, as the dinosaurs weren't able to adapt fast enough. Most people think that all the dinosaurs died then, but interestingly though, oh no, I wasn't falling for that again. Nothing he'd said had been interesting so far. It is believed that some of the avian dinosaurs instead evolved into our modern-day birds. So we could say that we are indeed still walking with dinosaurs today. He chuckled again. And speaking of that, it's commonly thought that mammals and dinosaurs didn't exist together. But they actually did, although the mammals were only small creatures at that point in time, at the very beginning of their evolutionary existence. So the idea of humans and dinosaurs together is laughable. Cram it, Einstein, I thought, stifling another yawn, wondering if it was possible to strangle him with his own tongue. His name was Elton, and we were colleagues at Heller's Security and Surveillance, a small but expanding business that offered top-shelf security and surveillance services. We were both employed there as security officers, and I hadn't worked with him before. But I was starting to understand the sympathetic glances and pats on the shoulder from the other men when Heller's hard-arse security manager Clive announced that I'd be paired with Elton for a week-long job. Maybe Clive did this to me deliberately, I pondered. He wasn't exactly an admirer of mine. Elton was a sandy-haired tall man, 6'5" at least, bulky with muscle, but with a sensitive, even-featured face, and the only security man I'd yet met who wore glasses. He was conscientious, earnest, and encyclopedic, bringing along a scholarly tome on medieval weaponry for a bit of light relief during our breaks. He seemed like a really nice guy, but I just wanted him to zip it for 5 minutes. Was that too much to ask? He was boring the arse off me and making the assignment painful. We'd been hired to supplement the security staff of the city's Natural History Museum for a showing of Dino Dreaming, a display of realistic animatronic dinosaurs. The museum was expecting the display to be the most popular one they'd ever hosted, hence the extra security required. Although glancing over at the 2 museum security staff assigned for the day, I wondered how they'd coped with much at all. One was small and past retirement age, surely, his white hair carefully combed and greased with some foul-smelling cream that had probably been popular when he was a teenager. The other was an anemic young woman with prominent blue eyes and lank, dull brown hair, who looked as if she'd faint if you tapped her on the shoulder from behind. But I guess a natural history museum didn't become rowdy too often. It was only later that I learned that both were volunteers, which explained a lot.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.